Spices aren't too expensive or too difficult to find if you know where to go looking for them. At least half of all Americans live an hour's drive or less from a major metropolitan area that contains cultural grocery stores. So, a quick internet search should provide a comprehensive list of markets in your area. Many of these grocers offer their spices in bulk, in addition to 2.5-ounce containers, which means a weekend drive into the city can provide many months' worth of spices in one trip. Buying in bulk lowers cost over time and adds convenience if it's a spice you use regularly. There's nothing worse than getting halfway through a recipe only to realize you're out of an essential spice. Online spice retailers offer a viable alternative to cultural grocers, but remember to compare prices. At first glance, you may think internet seems cheaper than their physical counterparts, but be sure to tack on the cost of shipping to your order. Whether you make a trek to a local market or order online, spices are becoming more and more readily available every day. You can cook with spices perfectly well using only the appliances you have in your kitchen already, but there's a few pieces of equipment that may aid in your culinary quests. Mortar and pestle. This ancient device has been used for centuries to crush spices in small quantities, and rightly so. Using a bowl, the mortar, and a small stick that fits snugly within, the pestle, chemists and chefs alike can crush and mix exact amounts of substances with very little mess and waste. Marble or other stones make the best mortars and pestles, since, unlike wooden ones, they don't absorb some of the essential oils during use. In a pinch, a rolling pin or the back of a spoon can be a serviceable replacement if no mortars and pestles are at hand. Simply layer the whole spices between 2 layers of wax paper and crush repeatedly with either device until the desired consistency is reached. Spice grinder. When you need to crush more than a tablespoon or 2 of any given spice, an electric spice grinder should do the trick. Just drop the whole spices into the hopper, turn on the power, and within seconds, you'll have ground spices of the perfect consistency. Clean the appliance every few times you use it by grinding some sugar or rice. This will make sure you don't cross-contaminate your spices, so your cinnamon doesn't have any residual mustard in it when you're switching from making your savory meal to your sweet dessert. A coffee grinder or small handheld food processor can also be used. Small heavy skillet. This comes in handy for dry roasting, a technique that can be used on many whole spices. Like the mortar and pestle, the old-fashioned tool works the best, a cast iron skillet. Not only are they easy to use and a breeze to clean, they're also a good deal cheaper than many cutting-edge pots and pans designed for the same purpose. A smaller pan should be adequate for most home uses, and don't forget to wear an oven mitt when handling the pan. Dry roasting. While all spices can be ground and used as they are, straight from the package, a light dry roast on a whole spice can really help bring out the flavors and nutrients to a whole new level. If you lose a batch or 2 during your first attempts, don't worry. It's a delicate process to brown the spices without actually burning them, but once you get the hang of it, you'll begin to do it automatically. Start by heating your small, heavy, preferably cast iron skillet over a medium heat for about 2 minutes, or until it gets good and hot. Add the whole spices directly to the pan, and using the handle, gently shake the spices around the hot pan. As I said before, be sure you're using an oven mitt or a pot holder when doing this, so as to not burn yourself. While you're shaking the pan, use a wooden spoon or spatula to stir the spices so they don't burn. It'll look like nothing is happening for the first minute or 2, but after that, the spices will start to smoke. You should be able to smell the essential oils as they're released. Keep at this until the spices have browned nice and evenly. If they're cooking too fast or unevenly, dial down the heat a little bit. Place the spices on a fresh plate to allow them to cool before grinding. The roasting time can be anywhere from 4 to 10 minutes from the time you first put the spices in, depending on the type of spice and the surface area of your skillet. The bigger the pan, the quicker the process will be. Make sure to roast your spices in individual batches, even if you plan on grinding them into a blend, since they don't all cook at the same rate. By doing this, you'll find dry roasting takes already delicious, aromatic, and nutritious spices and enhances every aspect of them. How to store. Storing your healthy spices. As I mentioned before, spices come in either individual 1 or 2 ounce shakers or in bulk containers holding upwards of 12 ounces. No matter which size you buy, be sure to transfer your newfound spices into airtight tin or glass containers. Plastic isn't too bad, but it won't preserve freshness as well as tin or glass options. Cardboard containers are to be avoided, as even spices wrapped in plastic bags won't stay as fresh in them. When considering whether to buy bulk or individually, it's a good idea to consider the state the spice is in. Dried spices are available whole, cracked, coarsely ground, and finely ground. Buying spices already ground or cracked may save time in a pinch, but you'll get the most flavor and health benefits out of whole spices that you grind yourself. Spices start to gradually leak their essential oils when they're ground, which is why ground spices have a stronger smell than their whole counterparts. No matter what state you buy them in, spices always keep best when stored in a cool, dark, and dry place. Any moisture, direct sunlight, or excessive heat will accelerate the loss of oils and can break down certain phytonutrients and other beneficial chemicals. A good temperature for your spice rack is somewhere around 70 degrees. Temperatures higher than this can lead to hardening and loss of color. This means it's a bad idea to let your spices sit around the stove too long while you're cooking. Try to reseal the container and return it to its rack as soon as possible after use. Ideally, if you treat them well, ground spices should keep for a year, and whole spices close to 3 years. Spices older than this lose potency in both flavor and nutrients and should be tossed out. If you're not sure how long a spice has been in your pantry, there are simple tests you can do to see if it's still good. For ground spices, simply open the bottle and sniff. If you can't smell much, if any, aroma, go ahead and toss the bottle. For whole, rub one between 2 fingers. A little aromatic oily residue means it's still good, while nothing means it needs to be thrown away.
Thank you for watching our show, Spice of Life. Now you're ready to start spicing up your life. Think about adding these healing spices to your everyday meals. Be creative, daring, and don't be afraid to try something new.